Okay, friends, thank you for staying with this process. And I hope it's been intriguing and kind of fun and meaningful to you. And I want to kind of recap a little bit what we've been working on because you might need a little more time with this. And maybe, each time we address it a little bit differently, it might be processed in your brain in a hits the mark better. So we were talking about values clarification, and we had a whole list of um I don't know, I think there was 80, 100 different elements of things that could be a value, and there was even blank spaces for you to add some if you liked. I think I added wisdom because I thought that was a value that I had and they didn't have it on their list. So once we marked everything that was particularly important to you, then we were looking at narrowing that down to 10 and narrowing it down to 10. And then the next step was to look at what things like peak experiences have you had that were high points in your life, and what brought you delight or pride or amazement. And these peak experiences might probably left you feeling terrific, something that you didn't know you could accomplish, like winning a marathon, earning a degree. What a lot of work that is. The birth of a child. What a unique moment that is. So then we wanted you to describe the qualities and characteristics of each of those high points, and what was it about them that made them feel so terrific? Was it fulfillment, satisfaction, happiness? Be as specific as you can about what made them feel so terrific. So that's the good points, the peak experiences. But now we want to also include the things, the 4 hot buttons, situations or attitudes that really aggravate you. One of the things that aggravates me is all these people on bicycles and motorcycles that wear black. How are you helping me to see you? I think they should be required to wear something neon, at least a stripe or two or a hat or something. So these hot buttons, they could be entitlement, rudeness, bad manners with using their phone. And there again, 4 hot buttons, and describe the qualities or characteristics of each hot button. What is it about those hot buttons that aggravates you? We're peeling the onion a little bit. And was it selfishness, disrespect? So with the with the wearing black of the motorcycles, I think I want them to help me see you. And even I have a couple of jackets that I sometimes wear at night, and I actually went out and bought the material to put reflective stripes on the back of them, so I wouldn't be guilty of what brings me hot buttons. So based now on your review of the 4 explorations of both the hot buttons and the peak experiences, what would you say are your 4 core values that are most important to you in your life right now? And again, in thinking about values, we often don't realize that stress and frustration is all often linked to our values that we're pulling away from, and it's not in alignment with our values. And therefore, it may cost us a lot of energy and stress and even bad health, perhaps, when we're frustrated about life not going the way that matters most to us. Honoring your values is critical, and you probably didn't know it. And all the more reason to take some extra time and think about this, because when you align with your inner spark, your soul, your DNA, or your GPS, you'll eliminate those things. And the thing about the hot buttons, to me, at least, I thought about is that I've heard people say that maybe you are meant to help solve that. You know, there have been people that have helped laws be changed when they were so convinced that it was important that something be improved, and it could be you. So be willing to consider that. It's not a hard and fast rule, but I want you to consider that. Okay. And then at the end of last session, I had you think about the assignment was guiding principles. And the assignment was to list 6 to 10 of those, I believe. And then we wanted you to narrow them down to just 3 to 5. So some of mine, one of mine was where there's a will, there's a way, and never give up. And my word is my bond. That wasn't particularly preached at growing up, but I think it was a principle that we kind of lived by, but one that I've adopted just because I only heard it about 6 or 8 years ago is worry is a misuse of imagination. You know, if you're going to use your imagination, let's make it ingenuity, where you're creating something good for the future, not worrying about what might happen or what did happen in the past. Okay, so now when, let's see, did I list my 3? I don't think I did. 3 to 5 of your most important guiding principles. All right, again, we're trying to take what's subconscious and making it conscious. And you'll be so glad you did, because this is getting to know yourself better. And I'm starting hearing people say it's critical these days that you know who you are. So now the next assignment is kind of different. It's a breakaway, and it's a start of creating a metaphor. Now, I think of the parables in the Bible as being a metaphor, a type of metaphor. And so we're going to start this with a nature story. And you might have heard me tell about being in Texas, and I was at a Mayfair event that was around the Cowboy Stadium. And way back in the far corner was a booth that was the owner of the booth had been a geometry teacher, and now he was a jeweler, and his jewelry was so unique. I just love unique things anyway. And when I put the rings that he made on my finger and admired him, I felt something move in my gut. What's going on? I took them off and put them back on, and it moved again. And so that became my nature story, this jewelry that was so unique. So I want you to think about, or go outside and look at all the elements of nature, and imagine you are one of them. Notice all the different elements of nature around you. What draws your attention? You are your favorite tree, flower, animal, beach. You are it. Describe yourself as this item. What is it like to be this item? Talk as if it's you. Imagine being it. Imagine you are this object in nature. Write a story that describes what it's like to be that, as specific as possible. Telling this story in the first person I voice. And it may, as you're generating this metaphor, it may give more intimate knowledge, deep knowledge about seeing yourself beyond your personality and role. So I originally, with this jewelry, I was still working, and I did do an assignment way back 10, 15 years ago, I guess. And I talked about the sparkle, the shine, the value, the reliability, the quality, all kinds of aspects of this jewelry, and related it to how I contributed quality and value to my work team. And that's kind of the idea that we want you to do with this nature story. And when my class of coaches were going through this with me, there were people that talked about being water or ocean, or down here in town there's a statue of like a ballerina, and somebody described themselves kind of as that symbol. So I hope you have fun with this, and I'm giving you all the more time to think about this and chew on this and write up your I am a nature story. And I hope you have fun with it. Don't get too literal with it, but draw on some of that creative wisdom inside of you that would delight you with this metaphor that's you and you only. Thanks for listening, and we will work on this more in our next session. So if you've fallen behind a little bit with your values assignment or your hot buttons, work on that, and then start chewing on what element in nature could you be. And this is the exciting part of doing it, applying a different kind of maybe part of your brain to talk about yourself and see yourself. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening.